Hello and welcome to this video presentation from Golden Retirement Advisors, and this is going to be demonstrating this tool over here, which does a compare of various approaches and has what if sensitivity tests. So it's essentially comparing one of them, a variable annuity under the S2I, which is savings to income method, compared to a managed account with withdrawals. So before proceeding to demonstrate this tool, we'll take you through a brief overview of savings to income, or S2I for short. So this approach uses a variable annuity with no load, no frills, low fees, tax deferred, from the best insurance companies. The approach takes also advantage of a revenue procedure that came out in 2008. It's probably not very well known, but it allows for a tax-free partial exchange from a variable annuity to places like a payout annuity. So the fixed payout annuities are in the form of just a compound interest temporary annuity with no mortality. And we also have refund annuities, which are life annuities, but if you die prematurely, which I guess everybody dies prematurely in a way, but if you die before you've received all of your premium for this annuity back, it will be returned either in the form of a continuing installment or in the form of a lump sum. So the payout annuities we would recommend from our association with CanEx. It's Canadian and US exchange for annuities, and there's a full-fledged annuity quotation system with you can choose by ratings, by many options, and then you get a return from highly rated insurance companies. So we will have these following websites. We've just looked at CanEx. The other advantage that was mentioned is the tax-free partial exchange, and there's a PDF that's published by the Society of Actuaries, and it has a lot of information about the partial annuity exchange and the taxability and so on. There's quite a bit of detail in this article that you can peruse at your leisure. goldenretirement.com, let me bring that up, is the advisory website, and it also has articles on all of these topics, and the topic that we've just shown via the Society of Actuaries. And within the Golden Retirement site, there's some, of course, disclosures and an overview of the S2I planning method. So the S2I planning method is in savings to income It's called Quick Plan, and it asks you for various information about your age and your assets and your risk tolerances, and we see the results, and the results are either in the form of income, spendable income, and asset projections. So there's a residual asset at the end of the horizon, and in terms of the annuities, this looks like a step of 5 and 10 years at a time, but what it actually looks like is a ladder where the first annuity purchased is a 20-year from 65 to 85. The second one is purchased also a 15-year to 85. The third one again is a 10-year going to 85, because I think that the exchange rules require at least 10 years. So 5-year one may be taxable, but you can still do that if the tax not too onerous. And the final one is the life and refund annuity, which is this section over there. So although it looks like that, and this depicts the level of income, which is correct, but the annuities are stacked and laddered in this fashion. So let's get rid of all of this good stuff, and we are now at the demo that we promised. Alright, so there's a bunch of sensitivities, a comparison table, and a couple of charts. So let's just quickly run through this. We allow for a deposit amount, the managed account advisor fees, the risk profile, in other words, how aggressive are you, what's your equity allocation, plan A, plan B. So here we are comparing, well, there's a shortcut for compares, but there's many plans that we have available to compare, but the main ones we would focus on is compare a non-qualified variable annuity S2I to a managed account RMD. So what does that mean? So all of these comparisons are really with non-qualified. We have another tool that deals with some qualified plans, but this particular demo is about non-qualified funds. So you have a non-qualified variable annuity that's tax deferred and has no load and low fees and so forth, and a managed account, just a managed brokerage account. And RMD means that the method of withdrawal is using the required minimum distribution method. That method begins at for qualified plan purposes at age 70, but you can use the same method starting at any age. You could start at, say, 65, find your life expectancy at 65. 1 over that would give you a percentage to withdraw. And so the next item is an estimate of equity return, estimated equity. So this would be a 9%, would be a in great markets environment. What is the this has components. The dividend component is 2.5%. Well, you can vary that sensitivity. percentage capital gains realized within the fund portfolio, and this is an important measure, how much of the gains are realized. Then a bond return, the VA fee structure. You can test with these, but we have one breakpoint. Advisor fees, so the advisor fee is to I, 2 breakpoints here, and then we can compare different tax brackets. So in this chart there's a purple line and a green line, and this is the comparison of the VA using the S2I approach versus an MA managed account using the RMD approach at the 25% tax rate. Well, what if you were, luckily in the 39.6% tax rate, and we show that result as well. So let's go ahead and change a couple of things and see what happens. So supposing the advisor says, well, I don't charge 100 basis points fees, I just charge 85 or 80, let's say. So now this particular section here shows you what you're going to be looking at and what it was before you changed it. So, oh, by the way, percent stands for basis points. Being that 1 basis point is 1% of 1%. So 1% of 1%. Anyway, a run graphs button appears when we make this change, for example. So let's go back. We had 1%, so now nothing's changed, so the button doesn't appear. So as soon as you make a change, then a button will appear. You can make other changes at the same time, but then it becomes difficult to conceptualize 2 things at once. So the total return equity, let's put that back to 9. And we go ahead and do the run. It'll take a few seconds. It shows you that it's running, and now you can see it does the 20-year to retirement. So this shows you various steps along the road to retirement after 1 year, after 5, 10, 15, 20, and this would be taking us along.